What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk a little bit about FromSoft and Elden Ring 2. This was actually the earliest story of the day. Then we went through all this other kind of drama as the day went on. But going back to the beginning, it came out rather early that they're not working on Elden Ring 2 right now. So that's kind of the short of it. We'll go over the full thing right now from IGN. Comes from Miyazaki, right? So he was accepting, I think, an award at the PlayStation Partner Awards 2024, and he said, "We're not really considering development such as Elden Ring 2. Though he did make clear that FromSoft is open to returning to the Elden Ring franchise in some form in the future. The projects in development are works in progress at the moment, but diverse in genre, with some directed by Miyazaki himself," he said. So that's pretty much just what came out. They're working on several games right now. They're not Elden Ring 2, and then some of them are being directed by him, some of them are not. And that's kind of the long and short of it. Now, there's really not too much I want to add on, but I do want a personal opinion just really fast. I give them incredible respect. I give him incredible respect, but kind of everybody. It takes a lot, I think, from an individual to create these franchises that just do so well, and then to turn and walk away from them immediately. Not immediately, but do you know what I mean? To say, you know what, they did what they did, and we don't really need to keep going with it because I have other things I want to try to like create and come up with. And you know, they make similar, like, they're not making racing games, right? They're not making first-person shooters. They do make Armored Core, right? But they're not, like, completely reinventing the wheel and jumping, like, 15 genres, you know, one game to the next. They have a formula, and they do try to make that formula, I think, work, but diversify it, you know, depending on what, if it's a Bloodborne, it's going to act different from Dark Souls, but, you know, you're going to recognize it, right? You know it came from them, and that's going to look different than an Elden Ring. So from that angle, there are some like carryover ideas, but I still think I respect the idea that Elden Ring is one of the biggest games you're ever going to get. And it really, well, FromSoft was already kind of on the map, but that really put, FromSoft on the map, or really made them one of the absolute titans. And honestly, I think Armored Core kind of even sold out of, I think it's probably, I haven't played it yet, but I do think it's probably a good game. But I do think some of the sales probably are just people saying, heck yeah, I'll just support anything that FromSoft makes. I wouldn't doubt, you know, at least some of those sales came from that. But they're just good, right? They're just consistently very good, way above average, and then most times actually they're elite. They're elite at the games that they make. And so again, I think it takes, I imagine it takes a lot to make a game that sells what very few, like every year you have like 1, 2, 3 games that do something like that, right? Like sells as much as Elden Ring does. So to say, okay, well, we're not going to do a sequel to that thing. We got other things we want to do. Now, I do like sequels, and I'm not saying like I wouldn't take an Elden Ring 2. I absolutely would. And it could be very hypocritical of me because 2 years from now, they say, okay, we're going back to Elden Ring. I say, thank the Lord, right? We've all been waiting. I think you can kind of have it both ways. I think you can respect that they're at least taking a break from it, or that it's not on the table. You know, when he talks about that, he, you know, returning in some form, I wonder if there's like some like TV show, movie, like something in another medium. Not that I would necessarily be a huge supporter of something like that, but we're in that age, and it's so popular. If you're not going to get a second game, can you get an anime series? Can you get a television show? Could you get a movie? Could you get something out of that brand? Because brands never die, especially nowadays. So it's not the last we've seen of it. So I'm not that foolish, but I do think it takes a lot to turn your back, walk away from it, and create whatever is next. Now I do respect that quite a bit. So and it ultimately I don't think really matters because, as I just said, just a few seconds ago, they are so consistent, they are so good, and there is that carryover kind of theme and gameplay style through all of their games, right? So it's like, even though it's not Elden Ring 2, whatever they make next, even if it was like a Bloodborne 2, it's still familiar, and then it's also going to be doing some new things, right? Like kind of like they always do. So you're not really losing, no matter what they choose to do, we're not really losing as a consumer. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.